Scum and Villainy in Hollywood. This is rad. I mean, I don't know if you're looking at this, but this is freaking amazing, man. I'm keeping the language down because it's Star Wars for the kiddies. But let's introduce yourself. Talk about you. You're the bar runner here.
Yes.
And
yes.
Why this?
My girlfriend designs bars and restaurants, and I grew up as a geek. I loved Star Wars when nobody loved Star Wars in the late 80s and the early 90s, and I always wanted a place to hang out, you know, where people were like me. And, you know, my girlfriend and I were talking, we were like, we could do something inspired by the Cantina, create a geek bar where people like me could go and hang out and it would be safe. They wouldn't be judged. They could wear their costumes and hang out, kind of like sports fans do every Sunday. They go and they watch the NFL. People can come here and take pictures with, you know, Darth Vader or Mr. Spock, or we've had Blade Runners, or Elf came in one night. Elf, you know, or Mario and Peach. But it's awesome because like even the Star Trek people who come in play along. You know, they've got their data pads out and they'll be like, we're trying to find a spot, but there's interference. Scotty can't beam us up. So it's really, you know, I mean, it's definitely inspired by, you know, certain genres more heavy than others, but like everybody's welcome. Like I want this to be a place where you can come in if you just saw Spider-Man Homecoming, sit down, talk to the bartender, go, what'd you think? And she can say, well, you know, the fact that his suit was like very Iron Man, I think pulled away from Peter Parker's character. You know, just that's what we're trying to build is a community bar for geeks.
How long did the transition take? Because this is a regular bar before this, and you were sitting around and you created this.
So it was a 7-week build out. So we went from basically empty space to this in 7 weeks.
You are a filmmaker and you've done Star Wars fan films.
Yes, yes.
Let's talk about that, man.
So in 2011, I did a fan film called Hughes the Force, which was John Hughes movies meets Star Wars, which I thought was kind of the perfect marriage where if you've ever seen Weird Science, they take a Barbie doll and they create Kelly LeBrock, who has magic powers. And so Hughes the Force, I was like, why do these two guys have Barbie dolls? But I have Slave Leia action figures. And so I basically took the basic premise of Weird Science and I built Ferris Bueller's Day Off and some of the other John Hughes favorites in there and created like a geek teen movie with these two Star Wars nerds who use a Slave Leia action figure to create a real life Slave Leia who teaches them the ways of the Force and you know, they learn a valuable message at the end. And then at Star Wars Celebration Anaheim, I screened a movie called Summer 78 about a little boy in 1978 playing with his action figures in his front yard. There's all sorts of Easter eggs and hints, and at the end you realize that he's more than a boy. He's going to go on and do great things, but the genesis of where his love for the genre came from was his Kenner action figures, which I think a lot of people my age and older can relate to.
Oh yeah. I think we all, if you grew up in a certain period, you had those toys.
Oh yeah.
Do you still have them?
I still do have them, yes.
My mom gave them all away, all of them.
I rebought a lot of them.
Okay, there you go.
That's why that happened also.
What is the coolest, most memorable night that you've had, whether it's someone in a costume or whether it's someone just getting crazy or maybe a Star Trek, Star Wars fight?
So one of the first nights we were open, we had a Blade Runner in here. Of course we're gonna have a Blade Runner in here because no androids are allowed. We've got a scanner at the door, so no replicants are gonna be drinking at the bar. Blade Runner wanted a night off, he found the right place. I have a great photo from May 4th, which was like the most amazing night ever, where right here, there's a smuggler with his smuggler wife she's holding his arm back and he's about to punch like a deck officer from the Enterprise in the face, so I think that's really fun. And then as I mentioned, like Alf came in and like I remember the Alf cartoon when I was a kid in the show and just every night, you know, if you've been to a Comic-Con or a Star Wars convention or, you know, WonderCon, I feel like this is that every night. You know, the best parts about those things aren't the panels, it's hanging out at the hotel bar afterwards, and that's what we get here every night. And just hearing stories of people coming from Tucson, Arizona, or North Carolina, or Portland, or last weekend, 2 people got married. And the first thing they did after they got married, they're still in their wedding dress and their tux, and they came here to celebrate here. And I thought that was super cool.
I mean, this is a huge service because Star Wars fans want everything Star Wars.
Well, and it's everybody has these costumes, and you can only wear the costumes once or twice a year, and you're spending all this time and money on them. And it's like, here's a place where you get to wear your costume, and you are special here. You're the cool one. You're the one that everybody wants their photo with, which a lot of people who grew up loving this stuff weren't the cool kids. And like, when you're here dressed in costume, you're the cool kid.
Originally, you weren't going to stay open till August, correct?
Correct. So
and you are now. So we got some plans, right?
Yeah. So we're now. I haven't talked about this, but yeah, we're going to open up in August. And one of the most requested things people had was, man, I just wish this was a place I could just roll in, have a couple drinks, order a burger, and hang out and meet other people. And I've heard that every single night from multiple people since we opened in April. And so for August, we're gonna try it. We're gonna open up, we're gonna start Thursday through Sunday, and if that goes well, we're gonna open up all week long.
Wow.
We're gonna do, starting at the end of August, we're gonna do geek trivia on Wednesdays. We're gonna do bingo nights, so you can come in and play bingo and sci-fi themed bingo, and we've got some mini games, and really, like, it's not bingo like you see on a sitcom. Like, this is going to be like interactive, like fun geek bingo like you've never seen. And then cosplay contests, and special discounts if you come in costume certain nights, and all sorts of things like that. Can I just say, follow us on Facebook. We're super active on Facebook. That's the best place to get information about when we're going to have events and drink specials or anything like that. Facebook.
Oh, and the drinks are amazing. We got to get a shot of that because the drinks are amazing here. I have to get drunk tonight. So yeah, check that Facebook, Scum and Villainy. It's probably the coolest place in LA right now.